The Delhi High Court has observed whether a wife is less empowered than a sex worker who has the right to say no at any stage when considering a batch of petitions on marital rape. The court's remarks came when it said that to exclude certain circumstances from the ambit of rape is problematic. The centre, meanwhile, told the Delhi High Court that it was considering a constructive approach to the issue of criminalising marital rape, adding that it has sought suggestions from state governments, the Chief Justice of India and others on comprehensive amendments to the criminal law. Let me go across to my colleague Nilashish for more on this. Nilashish, it's very important observations which have been made by the Delhi High Court on this matter, even as the debate over marital rape continues.
Well, absolutely. The Delhi High Court is in the final stages of hearing this matter, which seeks the exception in the rule of rape laws in India, which basically the rape laws, there's an exception whereby marital rape is excluded from the rape law, and that is sought to be removed in this particular slew of petitions. And during the hearing, the centre has informed the Delhi High Court that it is trying to consider a constructive approach, and as you pointed out, suggestions have been sought from various stakeholders, including chief ministers of states, the Chief Justice of India, as well as the Chief Justices of various high courts, in terms of an amendment to criminal laws. Now, the amicus curiae, Rajiv Shakdher, who is assisting the court, has also stated that the law at this point seems to be at a stage where it discriminates, and not just that, it is time for the law to evolve in a way. So the Delhi High Court has asked several questions of the centre with regard to why it is not time to bring in a law that could bring at par women who are married and unmarried, because the object of the law here is to protect women from non-consensual sexual activity. And in that situation, this exception to the rape law, in a way, is discriminatory against a woman based on her marital status. So accordingly, the argument is that of equality, that of Article 14, and whether or not law of equality would allow a woman to go through such a gruesome experience, such a horrid experience, and that will not be criminalized on the differentiation of a woman's marital status. So the hearings are continuing on a daily basis as of now, and the court is taking note of these arguments that are being put forward. Earlier, the centre had in fact stated that it was in the domain of the centre to in fact create laws, and as far as marital rape is concerned, it is the legislature's job to create new laws, and therefore it was opposing this particular petition.
Right, Nilashish, thank you so much for joining us with these updates. Of course, the matter is still in court, but very, very important observations which have been made in the High Court by the judges there. I'm also joined over the phone line by Abha Singh. Miss Singh, this is, of course, at a stage when the petitions are still being heard in the High Court. But essentially what the court seems to be asking is that there seems to be certain loopholes, because if the exemption is not there applicable in the case of, let's say, a sex worker who is refusing, who is not giving consent, then how is it that the wife can be at a lower pedestal? So this is a very important observation in this entire debate over marital rape and whether marital rape should in fact be criminalized.
Delhi High Court judge's statement that a prostitute has a right to say no, but a wife doesn't have, I would say, is a very bizarre comparison. Number one, how are you comparing a wife with a prostitute? Because the courts have found an intelligible differentia. What is the intelligible differentia? Is that here is a legally wedded wife, and here you are comparing with a prostitute. I think it's quite bizarre. And when marital rape is, what is the duty of the court? To implement a law, to see whether a law is being implemented rightly or wrongly. When there is no law on this, not there to pass judgments and statements. These are mere observations. And this observation of the court should be expunged by the counsel superior judiciary, not to compare a wife with a prostitute.
Ms. Singh, thank you so much for joining us.